Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Loveology podcast.
Hello.
What's up, baby girl? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, doing good, but you know, we had some unfortunate news this week, man. 2020 is kind of crazy.
Off to a rough start, aren't we?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, wars and rumors of wars and you know all that good stuff, and then you know we got hit with the death of 9 victims in a plane crash, including Kobe Bryant. So I just definitely want to give a shout out to the families that been affected by that. That's Peyton and Sarah Chester, Christina Masur, Alyssa Annabelli, John Annabelli, Carrie Annabelli, Aria Zambara. I apologize if I'm getting the names a little bit mixed up. I just want to pay homage to them. And obviously Gianna and Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, shout out to them. You know, we just have to understand that life is not promised. You know,
Yeah.
The next day is not promised. So that's part of why we put this podcast together, to spread love, to share love, to, you know, get the best of what life can offer.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, it is a loss, but use this to, you know, build on your life. You know, while we still have a gift of life. The present is a present. So take advantage of it.
Yeah. For sure.
So definitely, this is the 42nd episode of the Loveology podcast. So if you flip those numbers around, what number is that?
24.
24. So for those that know that 24 is Kobe Bryant's basketball number, and 8 was his number early on in his career. We would like to, you know, give 8 seconds of a moment of silence for the victims and obviously Kobe Bryant, starting now. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
So let's just move on to, we're going to talk about, what are we talking about today, love?
We are talking about a very, very, very important topic.
Very, 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 very important topic.
You guys have picked the right episode to listen to, okay?
Okay.
This is so important. It does not seem like it would be that important, but it is.
It is.
We are talking about, well, this episode was inspired by a new book. It's a New York Times bestseller, and it's called Fair Play, a game-changing solution for when you have too much to do and more life to live. Yeah.
So we're going to get all into that. But before we get into it, I do want to introduce you guys Patreon, right? As we just opened up our new Patreon page, so we would like to ask you guys to go and support our Patreon page. To do that, because we come up with this content, my wife, she puts in a lot of research. I do a little research, but she does more than I do, as we're gonna find out in this episode.
How about 90% more?
And you know, it takes time for me to do my thing on the show. So but yeah, so Patreon, and that is spelled patreon.com/Loveology podcast. Again, patreon.com/Loveology podcast. And what Patreon does, it allows content creators just like me and Ashley, right, to allow people to support us monetarily, right? And we have different tiers on these for our Patreon site. You get different things. It's a Facebook group, a private Facebook group that we have out right now, where we do a lot of personal stuff, exclusive behind the scenes content, free T-shirt, right? 10% off. Who you like to get some discounts, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
I love discounts.
So we definitely giving away discounts, and our VIP tiers, have some other stuff in there as well. One-on-one phone calls. So I think it's pretty good. Go on to patreon.com/Loveology podcast. Check out those tiers. Pick which one you want to be in. And for this month only, because it's the month of love, Valentine's month, this is our Loveology, right? Every tier will be free. For this month only, you will not be charged until March the 1st. So feel free to pick whatever tier you want. Enjoy the bonus content. Enjoy the stuff. We will not be sending out free T-shirts until you actually pay. So I just want to throw that out there. We're only going to accept so many VIP patrons. So all that will be talked about later. But just go to patreon.com/Loveology podcast. Woo, 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 woo. So let's jump right into today's episode. Take it away, love.
Are you ready, Jason?
I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Are you?
Stuff.
You might get attacked, and all men may get attacked. So
Men, put on your armor. Put all your armor of God on, because you're gonna need it for this episode. Women will be wielding the swords.
So yes, like I was saying, this episode is inspired by a book called Fair Play, and it is written by a woman named Eve Rodsky. Hopefully I said her name right. It was one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks.
And Reese Witherspoon played in Clueless.
Jason.
No, not Clueless. Which one? Who is that?
Who played? Oh, her name is, I forgot her name, but that's not Reese Witherspoon.
Okay, who is she playing?
Oh my gosh. She played in Legally Blonde. You may know her from that, but she's been in a lot of movies. But I think you've seen Legally Blonde before.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I've seen pieces of it. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Let me look up who's in Clueless.
I can't remember her name. Alicia Silverstone, I think, something like that. But anyways, Jason need to get his celebrity game up, because
I'm clueless on these celebrities.
So yes, and it is dealing with the topic of domestic
Alicia
work.
Silverstone is her name.
Yes, in Clueless. Yes.
Mm.
Okay, so this book is dealing with everything that it takes to run a home. So we're talking about the domestic work, caretaking of the children, everything that it takes. Okay. Right?
Cool.
And I think it's so important, because I tell a lot of my friends this. Like, I think that people severely underestimate how, like, the day-to-day grind of your life can make you change the way that you feel about your partner. Like, really? Like, seriously, you can like, the love will decrease a lot, right?
Dang.
It's like, I'm just playing. But for real, people don't understand, like, how stressful it can be when someone's, like, not helping in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it can just cause a lot of resentment and a lot of fights, and romance is just gone because you won't help me clean up.
Yeah, this is a secret for all the men out there that if people say, oh, once you get married, sex goes down, right? And a lot of reason for that is because work goes up for the woman.
Yes,
and the woman is a mental sexual person, right? And men are physical sexual people. So no matter what we're going through in our head, men want to have sex. Unlike women, if they got a lot of stuff in their head, they not necessarily in the mood. I'm tired, I'm not in the mood. So that's a real thing, fellas. So once you do one little thing like washing dishes or help out more, then you'll be surprised that you'll become a little irresistible little thing. You know, Ashley, definitely jumped on me a few times. Like, wow, okay, I'm not gonna stop you. But yeah, this is a help in that area as well, fellas. So just
yes, thank you for speeding ahead, Jason.
I'm sorry. I just want to I wanted to make sure the guys know that this is actually a good nugget here.
Okay, good. Yes,
Yeah.
you're speaking from the man perspective,
Yeah.
and we probably shouldn't have started off. I don't want to attack the man, right? But this book,
We getting attacked, y'all. So just be prepared. Put your shields and your armor on.
This book was definitely written for women as a tool to bring the conversation up with our husbands or partners, and to like try to get you all to talk about it, and because most men do not want to talk about any household work at all.
For sure.
And you're going to avoid this conversation at all costs.
For sure. This is a woman's book, but this is information that's definitely valuable for men.
For both of you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's written for the woman. So
bear with us, guys.
Yes.
But there's a golden chest at the end of the rainbow. So I promise you, it'll help you.
Yeah, I was feeling all sorts of emotions as I was reading this. I was getting very upset, wasn't I, Jason? I was like, I'm so mad because you did something in the past.
Right.
So I saw myself in this book, and women, we take on this. I'll just do it. I'll just take care of it. And it's like, you don't realize what you're doing to yourself when you try to take care of everything.
If your woman likes to fight, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you're holding your woman's hand while y'all listen to this podcast.
But it's super important. And so I'm going to quote something from her book, because basically women are still doing the bulk of the housework, right? So it says, according to the most contemporary research, women still do the bulk of the childcare and domestic work, even in two-earner families in which both parents work full time, and sometimes even when the mother earns more than her partner. Jason,
what's up, love?
Why do you think that is? Even if I'm earning more money than you? Why do you think that is? As a man, let's talk from a male perspective.
Yeah.
Here's the question I have for you.
Okay, man, you give me so many questions.
It's so many questions. Sorry.
Can I answer
because
some of them?
I don't understand.
So don't worry about that first question you just asked.
Okay.
Calm down. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You got me. So
let me ask the first question.
Okay, there we go.
What was your expectation, like how life was going to be when we got married?
I don't, man. You know what?
As far as housework goes.
So, my as a child, I was taught to, work and provide. That's what a father does. He provides for the family. He's the head of the household. Provides protection, money, assurance. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't thinking about cleaning up like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And I think society has did the same for most people.
For most men. So it was just never an expectation for you to clean.
The ultimate goal is not for your wife to work, so she can do all that. That's the ultimate goal. That's why I was like, yeah, I don't want you to work. Yeah,
okay,
you can handle all that stuff that I don't want to do. Yeah.
So that's pretty much what your expectation was?
For sure.
When we got married, even though I was in the military?
Well, I was helping out, you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't as efficient as you were, you know what I'm saying?
Which is one of the things that we're going to talk about later.
And I had some childhood trauma, you know what I'm saying? Going to the grocery store with my grandma, spending 2-3 hours at a time, just getting a few items because, she knew everybody in a small town, Brinkley, Arkansas, and so she talked to everybody. She was a teacher for 33 years, so she talked to everybody. So that was traumatizing for me, and you don't want to honor it, but it was.
I do honor it. That's why I've gone to the grocery store for the majority of our relationship.
But I've gotten better, and I've been going to the grocery store. So it's all about growth. It's growth, guys. Loveology podcast, all about growth.
So this is why this is, again, one of the reasons why it's so important. The main reason really is that it can really hinder the progression of your relationship if you guys are just fighting about domestic tasks. And what I really like about this book, which we're going to talk about later on, is that she sets it up for for you all to be clear on what the expectations are.
Right.
This is all about divvying up the housework.
These are invisible wars that you're having with your spouse.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're in a war and you don't even know it, you're most likely you're losing, right?
Right.
So these can really break down your relationship fast.
For sure. So I guess you answered the first question I asked, but I changed it to the second question of like, why do you think that even when women earn more money than men in this day and age, women are still doing more of the domestic task? It's just the expectation of men and society, and you know, we just haven't switched that expectation yet for you guys to be joining in on the domestic work.
Well, I just believe y'all are more efficient at it, so therefore you guys were trained at an early age to play house with the dolls and clean up and do all that stuff. Please don't shoot me because of my perspective, but that's just how I felt. You know, I feel like y'all was trained to do more. Y'all was trained to change diapers. Y'all was trained to watch the kids. You know what I'm saying? They would get little girls to watch over the other little kids opposed to the boy. The boy's outside playing, you know, maybe working in the car with grandpa or doing some hunting. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we naturally, we go get the food. Y'all prepared.
Yes, but now times have changed.
Yeah.
So we getting the food and preparing it, basically, and washing the dishes.
Yeah.
After everybody's done eating.
Hey, you know, we got to do more. We got to do more to help out, guys. We got to do more. If that's your household, and you know, we gotta divvy out these things so it won't be as stressful for her, because that, like I said, that throw things off. But yeah.
Yeah. So this is basically what this book is about. It's about divvying up and addressing these things, like you're saying, that we're just more efficient. More efficient at things. And yes, you're right. But how long are we going to use this? Right? Like, yeah, we're more efficient, but guess what? You can become efficient too.
Well, you know, we're a unique generation. I mean, you know, because I think, you know, don't get me wrong. You know, the glass ceiling is still there, right, for women.
Yeah.
But it's getting pushed higher and higher, you know. So these are one of the, you can say we're the first generation where the glass ceiling has been this high. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was high. It was high last generation, but we're really feeling the effects of it this generation. You know what I'm saying? So it takes time and it takes communication. You know what I'm saying? So
well, I think this book will help out a lot, and with pushing that conversation forward. Like I said, the goal of this book, what I felt like, was that we need to rebalance the home, and we need to divvy up these domestic responsibilities so both partners can be less stressed, and and so your household can run more efficiently. If we're talking about efficiency, like let's, because it's not efficient for one person to be doing everything. Right. And here's the other big kicker.
What's the other big kicker? Here's the other big kicker. What is it, man?
Okay, I'm going to read a quote from her book and talking about housework in regards to women careers. This is an injustice on a grand scale, for housework is everything, wrote Megan K. Stack in a powerful New Yorker piece. It's an ambiguous physical demand that has hamstrung and silenced women for most of human history. I'd love to believe that the struggle for women's equality is concentrated in offices and manufacturing plants, but I've become convinced that this battle takes place first and most crushingly at home. Everything starts at home. So, like she said, it is very, to me, it's very telling of like the truth, right, of what she's saying. Actually, this domestic life can cripple our careers. Like we can't do all of this. So when we're in a bind, most of us are going to go to the house. It's like a lot of women with higher education, she gave some statistics or something, but are choosing to leave their careers to go home. Right. And no, I did that.
I was about to say
I did that, but my story is a little bit different.
Okay.
And you would have to like know my whole life pretty much, but I'm sure that the weight of having a family and having domestic duties and trying to balance work. It was a very heavy weight.
Which one would you rather have though? Would you rather work and fight that traffic and all that good stuff and not do the domestic duties at all? Or would you rather do the domestic duties and not go to work?
You know, my life has never been without domestic duties, so I really don't even know. I really don't know, like, but I'm pretty sure I could handle it, right?
Could handle what?
If somebody was doing all of my domestic duties, cleaning everything, and I didn't have to worry about it, I can go to work. Sure, why not?
That's what you prefer.
I don't know if it's what I prefer, because then also bringing kids into the situation, I do want to spend time with my children too.
Yeah, you're a natural nurturer. That's why. It's kind of how God made you, huh?
Well, all women are not natural nurturers. All women are not.
Maybe. I think they are natural nurturers, but they've been taught subliminally and through, I guess, probably what their parents have showed them that, that it's not that high on the scale. So therefore they've been changed into unnatural.
I don't use the word unnatural, but I seen a picture online, a meme, I guess, where it's this woman going throughout her life, and people are telling her, no boys, no boyfriend, focus on school, focus on school.
The 5 B's, right? Books before boys, because boys bring babies. That's 7 B's. Count them up, y'all.
And so, like, she's excelling, she's getting these degrees, and then once she's like a successful businesswoman or whatever she is, then people are like, well, when are you gonna get married? And she's like, well, when did I have time? Right and it's because, like, you all have been pushing me to get educated, focus on your career, so that's what I've been doing. And now I'm like older, and now you're asking me where's my husband.
And that line is so thin. Once you cross over that line, it's like it's literally like that. It's like a 1 month. It's like, okay, you supposed to be married by now. Like, what? I've been spending all these years trying to get my doctorate or becoming a lawyer or whatever, and now y'all mad at me because I don't have a husband and a family. You know what I'm saying? So that line is very, very thin. Once you cross it, everybody on you.
Yeah. So kind of going back to your point of, I was kind of wondering, I'm not saying anything, we're just thinking, right? So I'm just wondering, like, well, because I kind of felt weird, I basically, part of the reason why I decided to stay home is because I really just didn't know how to manage a household, right? And so that's why I said this book
manage
is really,
a household and work. And
manage a household.
Just period.
Yeah. Because I've never had 2 children and a husband. You know what I'm saying? Right. And like,
especially a good looking husband.
Yes. And so then learning how to, like, okay, ask you for stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was just a lot. It was a lot. So I'm like, I just need to learn. I just got to get my house in order first.
Get your house in order. Oh, do it today.
That's an old gospel song, isn't it?
Well, I got my range is magnificent.
I don't know that song, but I could just tell that that's a gospel song.
Yeah, I'll teach you. We'll teach you offline. Maybe if you join tier 2, you get that bonus content. I'll be able to teach you that.
Yeah, so I feel kind of weird because it's like, I think back in the day when women weren't expected to go to work, then they were trained how to manage the house. And so now it's kind of reversed. It's like, well, we're not really trained how to manage the house. We're trained to go out and get this money, get this bag. You know what I'm saying? Which is great.
Chasing the bag, babe.
Which is also great. Like, I'm not saying we're supposed to go back to that, but it's like, well, what happens if I do have a family? What happens to me then?
Right.
I'm woefully unprepared.
Right.
It's like, I'm woefully unprepared to do both of these. And so that's why I was really happy about this book, because I think it definitely does give a good solution on how to set up a system in your family with your husband and divvying this thing up. Because no, women do need to be in the workplace, right? We here, we ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? We're not going nowhere. So we need to be here. But in order for them, to me, to truly be successful in the career, the husband got to be helping, man. You got to be helping whether you're together or not. The
Right.
baby daddy, we need some help.
And husbands, another option, you can always make enough money to get you a maid, to help out as well.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because some of the things, like she has like these, basically there's a rule that all time is created equally.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to talk about the time is money factor, right? All right, so first, let me just tell you just a little bit more about what she did. She talked to hundreds of women from all economic, socioeconomic backgrounds and like, I don't know, like 500 women, 500 men or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think she said it started with a list called the SHIT that I do.
The SHIT that I do.
And she sent it to, all her female friends. And basically everyone just started talking about, all of the tasks that they do.
Right.
And I think that it definitely worked. Like I feel like they came up with pretty much everything that goes into running a home. I don't feel like they missed anything, you know? So it's basically a figurative game. And we'll get into that later about why I'm definitely calling it a figurative game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it is essentially a tool for you to talk to your partner about the domestic responsibilities. Okay, so early on in the book, she just explained some of the things that maybe the person who's not doing the domestic work may not be familiar with. And it's like you said earlier, it's a lot of invisible work. There's a lot of mental load that comes into things. So it's not just that I'm providing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is that I'm planning breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that I am thinking about vegetables and health. That's, a lot of mental load.
Right.
And so like I was saying earlier about women are still doing the bulk of the housework. They call that the second shift when a woman comes and works all day, puts in the same amount of hours as her husband does, and then comes home and does like everything. Dinner, gets the kids bathe, and all of that stuff. So, there's just like a lot of that. So she took some time to explain that. And then the part that I started to get angry on, because I totally could see myself in this, is when she started talking about the hidden cost of doing it all, because women do tend to just say, well, I'm going to do it myself. Right. Yeah. And I think that's why I get so upset when I hear these stories about men, like you said, like getting upset about not having sex, but their wife is literally doing everything.
Not everything.
I said I was going to stop saying those words, everything and never. What episode was that? Fighting. We talked about the fact that I use the word always or never when we have arguments, and
the episode is fighting without fighting.
Yes, fighting. Go check that out. Fighting without fighting. I'm still struggling with that. I'll still say, Jason, you never do this. You always do this. And it's like, no, that's not actually true.
It's not.
So sorry to digress, but yes, he's correcting me again. So, but yeah, but they're doing a lot.
Yes.
They're doing the bulk of it. And you have time to run around and go to the gym and hang out with your buddies while she's at the house slaving away. And then you mad at her because she don't want to, get busy at the end of the night. It's like, well, maybe if you would take care of some of these things, I would have some more energy. This happens to women all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating. Because sometimes we actually do it to ourselves. Right. Like you said, sometimes we take that excuse of, well, I can do it faster.
Mm-hmm.
But the to get to the bottom of it, it's like you cannot do it all.
Right.
And you should not do it all.
Right.
So I definitely have the habit of just taking on way more than what I should, So that's the chapter that I definitely saw.
Now let me ask you this question, because this is a societal thing. I think that's a word.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to talk about how we can help the next generation by raising our sons and daughters to to kind of think like we're thinking right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We weren't going to talk about it. We definitely can. I
Mhm.
mean, we can just jump right into it because it does cost society, right?
Yeah.
When women aren't allowed to, be themselves and have time for themselves. Like, we are so important.
Oh yeah.
For us to be so important, y'all just don't treat us like we're so important.
Society, man.
But we make the world go round, okay?
That's what they say.
Yes, we do. So go ahead. So what's your ideas for teaching our son?
And daughter.
Yes,
Because
and daughter. She needs to know.
You don't have to do every, you don't, these are skills. So basically teaching them the same things.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically what it is. Instead of splitting it up, back in our time, the boys did certain things and the girls did certain things. The boys go outside and work on cars and the girls stay inside to clean up and learn that stuff. So basically you just got to incorporate them to do everything together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I think
find out the strengths and weaknesses from there, but at least, get it in because my thing is I never watched kids when I was younger. I never changed diapers.
Yes, I did.
I didn't hear crying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just that wasn't in my world. And then you throw in the military when we get deployed, you just don't see kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's all about the mission. You know what I'm saying? You get focused, get the mission done. So I think it's just to get introduced to those things, it starts at the home. And, like I said, the girls need to get under that car too. We talk about equality and all this and that. And I understand some things are heavier than others. And, men are naturally more stronger than women, right?
Yeah, you mean physically. You have more upper body strength.
Yeah, we can run faster than you two. Then.
Okay.
I can beat you running. Come on, let's go. Y'all want to see that? You go ahead and join tier 2, and we gonna show you. I'm gonna beat my wife running down the road. Let's do that, babe. What's up?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm out of shape because I had
ain't
two
trying
children.
to hear that. I'm out of shape too. I was right there with you.
But
I didn't push him out.
You see what I gotta deal
out.
with?
I didn't push him
you
out.
didn't carry them either.
I didn't.
You
carry
didn't gain the weight that I did either.
You're right.
Okay.
I did gain the weight.
Jason, you did not gain the weight that I gained while I was having children.
But I gained some weight though.
Yes, but
so I'm out of shape too.
That has nothing to do with me.
I'm out of shape too. We gonna race, y'all. But you gotta have tier 2 to see the race.
Yes.
But go for it, babe. So I think we should just do everything together.
For sure. For sure. So she goes into these rules that you need to understand before you play her game.
Real quick, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
You're already doing it because you bought Isaiah, which is our son. He's 1. She bought him a cleanup set. Broom, dustpan, mop.
Yeah, he was grabbing our real broom. I said, well, let me buy him a little play broom so he can play with his broom.
And teaching him, hey, this is how you clean, brother.
Yes. Oh, so yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, I think that if everybody just does this team sort of mentality of like, we are just going to knock this out together. So if you have too much on your plate, let me take some of that. You know what I'm saying? And if that means that I need to clean the kitchen, then that's what I have to do. Right. So let's just have like a team. So I think teaching our children, yes, definitely Isaiah's going to know that he is supposed to clean the dishes too. We're all going to do it together.
Right.
This is a whole family thing.
And initially, fellas, the lady's not going to have as much faith in you in the beginning. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not used to you doing anything like that. Maybe you are. Maybe you are a clean man. There's a lot of clean, very, very clean men out here that does help out around the house. You know, good job. You know what I'm saying? But I think majority of us, we struggle at helping out. We need to help out more because whatever. But I just think that just keep going, and they'll see that, hey man, you are dedicated to it. Because my wife, she had to see that. It's been plenty of nights she didn't think I was gonna wash those dishes, but I did.
Yeah, because we just started this, so we're gonna go over that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if I had read this book and you weren't washing dishes, I would have been just crazy mad. I would have been like, this is so right. And I have not asked Jason, a lot of times women, we don't want to ask. We want you to want to do it. But I have been married for a while, ladies. Listen, listen, we really running this thing. Okay. Like you, especially when it comes to like the house. So definitely she addresses in the book, Eve addresses in the book that you have to stand up for yourself.
Right.
But it can hurt us because like, why do I have to do this? Don't you want to do this for me? No, they don't want to, ladies. They don't. So you just have to tell them that this is what you need them to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to be okay with that. But we get so emotional and hurt behind the fact, well, he doesn't want to do it for me. He doesn't really love me. No, it's not that.
We just don't know how deep it is.
Yeah, don't know how deep it. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if it's that deep. If you ain't gonna ask, man, you gonna do it.
No, yeah, and they gonna keep on riding it. They gonna ride it
Play
as
the
long
game.
as until you say no. I will not do this anymore.
You gotta go on
maybe you
strike.
shouldn't say it like that or whatever, but you have to basically have a conversation and explain to them like, I can't do all of this and I shouldn't have to do all of this. It's
Right.
your responsibility too, but like I said, this is
And
what
try not to use those words like you need to grow up and stuff.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
no,
Don't
no,
use
don't do
damaging
that.
words because
Yeah.
you're gonna throw off the communication channels. Just be, this is at the end of the day. If you do this thing right, it's gonna help the whole household.
Yes. Check out the book. I'm giving her some free advertisement right now.
Some people ain't want to check
She's-
out the book. But,
well, I'm just
they can
saying
listen to the podcast. They need you to give it to them right here, right now.
But she even has some, suggestions on how to approach. And it's just, but sometimes even that kind of irritates me because I was like, why do we have to be so careful with these?
We gotta be careful with you too, though.
Oh my God.
Y'all so sensitive. How to look in this chair.
Y'all sensitive too.
We can't say we gotta come up with creative ways to tell you don't need to put that dress on. We can't say, man, you too big for that dress. You can't say that. Look. See, it's already. I should have got that on camera. Look, she already got a little face.
Moving on before you get cussed out.
We got a tiptoe too. You know what I'm saying? So get your tippy toes going.
Okay, so I don't know if we're not gonna have time to go over all of the things.
This is gonna be a 2-part episode, y'all. So just get ready. It is what it is. It's good for you guys. It's good for the family. It's good for any relationship. So
Right.
it is what it is.
Yeah. I will say that some of these stories that she told in this book, it did make me feel a little bit better about you though, even though I got mad. But there was some situations where I was like, Jason would never do that. Like he would never wait for me to do this particular thing. He would just do it himself,
Right.
But there's always room for improvement, right?
Right. And who knows? Maybe I would have done it. Just haven't done it yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. The situation I'm thinking of, I was like, no, I would not have had patience for you
Yeah.
in that situation at all. No.
But let's just give men credit, especially since we're gonna bash me, we gotta bring me up too. I am doing a good job on my part of keeping the house secure. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a great job at going to work and not skipping out on work.
So, and I think this is when
I gave up playing the game. I don't play the game no more. You know what I'm saying?
So
Just
this is
not
when,
for her. I just feel like hey, for us to do really well in this podcast, and I want to spend more time with my son and my daughter and my family. I can't do the game no more.
So this is when I was very upset.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about as I was reading this book, this is when I got upset.
Okay.
Because Jason and I have had this conversation before about how much work I'm doing versus how much work he's doing in the home. And I'll tell him, it just takes a lot of time. I'm responsible for a lot of stuff. And he says, oh, well, I'm responsible for security. You know what I'm saying? Or, the lawn or something like that. Well, Eve has done a brilliant job at explaining that there is a such thing as a daily grind.
Yes.
Okay. She has cards that represent daily grinds. And these are the time consuming, life sucking things that you have to do every single day. I was doing, and what I tried to tell Jason is what I'm doing is taking way more time than what you're doing.
Yes.
So yes, you're providing security, but you are laying on the couch watching TV providing security. I am planning the meals. I am going to the grocery store. I am washing the clothes. I am doing the time consuming task that has to be done.
Taking the kids to school.
Taking the kids to school.
Picking them up from school.
Yes. And they can't, and those, on top of that, those things cannot be done
At a different time.
At a different time.
It
right?
has to be. You got to
has
stop
to
what
be.
you're doing.
Yes. I have to feed my children. I have to take them
3
to
times
school.
a day. You know them suckers eat 3 times a day? God, dog. Well, we
and when
eating
you're
every-
breastfeeding, they eating 12 times a day. Okay, they eating every 3 hours. So I am doing. Is that right? That's the correct math, right? Every 3 hours, 12 times
Y'all
a
do
day.
the math. Cool. We got a podcast to do.
So that's when I read that part in this book. I said, this is what I'm trying to tell Jason. And I'm not the only person that feels. Now, by this time, he gets it a little bit more, right? But it was still just that emotion of having that conversation with him about this. And he gonna tell me, well, I do the lawn work. You do that once every 2 weeks, okay?
Shoot, since it's been kind of cold, I ain't done anything about it in a while.
Exactly.
About a couple months.
And you get to choose when you do it. But the things that I do take time, mental, emotional life out of me every single day.
Kind of like taking out the trash. But that's still not a daily grind. That's a weekly grind.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you mean. The trash is in the house.
Taking out the trash to the curb.
Yeah,
because they has a certain time to go out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, so that's when I got upset. So you just triggered that again because you're saying security. So as you can guys see, maybe I'm not quite over it, but but let's talk about time is created equal. Because what do we say in this country?
It's a free country.
No, about time and money.
Time is more valuable than money.
No, time is money.
But time is more valuable than money.
Okay.
But yes, time is money, but time is more valuable than money.
Yeah, so she's saying the new rule is all time is created equal. And basically, she said already, be prepared for pushback. And I've definitely fallen into this of like, well,
Here's the thing. Be prepared for pushback, and it's how you deliver it, right?
Yes.
So
it's important.
It's a saying that you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
Yes.
So if you go in there talking crazy, cussing folks out and, bashing them, then you might as well wait till next year to bring this up again because it's going to be straight resentment, right? So just go in there nice, walk on your tiptoes, just like we got to walk on our tiptoes, So just know how to communicate with them and walk on your tiptoes and attack it.
Yep. It's unfortunate that we have to walk on our tiptoes.
Babe, we got to do the same thing.
But it is what it is, okay? Right. Time is money. So it is hard because this is so ingrained in our beings, in our society, that time is money. And if you make more money than me, then your time is more valuable than me. Or however society has decided that your career is more valuable than mine, because clearly we know that teachers are one of the most important people, groups of people in our country, but we do not pay them enough money by any means, but they are so important.
They don't pay them that much because they don't want them to teach them much.
Okay, well, we won't go into that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
But teachers,
our education system is slipping.
Yes.
But that's a whole nother topic. We're not talking about that, but yes.
How important is educating our youth? So, but we've
extreme important.
Yes. So they should be getting paid millions of dollars, right?
For sure.
But they're not. So we have.
And shout out to those awesome teachers that are still doing great work and getting underpaid.
Right.
So we'll definitely appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for being awesome teachers and not getting paid.
Amen.
My mom is still teaching, even though she retired, still teaching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My grandma was a teacher.
Right.
Hey, I'm teaching. I'll teach you stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow. I'm going to let you have it. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I teach him more stuff than he teaches me.
Go ahead, love.
Okay. So if we follow this rule, basically, because you make more money, I still got to come home and do all the work because you make more money than me. What she's saying, what Eve is saying is like, no, everybody gets 24 hours in a day. And so even though I made less money than you, right, I still only have 24 hours in a day. So my hour is gone, just like your hour is gone.
Right.
And I still deserve time to myself, to feed my soul, to feed myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she says to remain interesting or whatever.
Right.
That's her phrase, is time to remain interesting.
Right.
And that's to do the things that you're passionate about. That's going to make you a more fulfilled person too. So, but the thing is, it's like, well, what if you got somebody like Barack Obama, right? and Michelle Obama.
They got enough money to hire maids and stuff though.
Yeah, so I think in that sort of situation, like clearly if we're talking to some people who are like multimillionaires, and then you have people you're able to outsource
You can
these
buy
things.
your village.
Yes, but that still takes time too.
What?
Right?
To buy a village?
Yes, to assign, to delegate, to manage the villagers.
Yeah, but that's initial though.
Yeah, initially it'll sooner or later it'll roll into a system, but managing it is forever.
Yeah.
As long as it's there, right?
Yeah.
So that still takes time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I agree with what she's saying, and but I definitely fell into that of like, well, if he's making more money, his ability to perform at work is of the utmost importance. Right. And so if that means that I need to do more for him to be able to do what he needs to do, then that's what it is. But it's like, that's fine as long as you still have your time. Right. So for example, when we first moved out to LA, you was just really grinding. You was working like crazy.
Yes, I was.
Right. and you really didn't have a choice in the matter.
Didn't complain. Well, I didn't complain about what I was doing for my family. I didn't complain about that.
No.
I was complaining about the work.
Yes.
Because it was illegal. Literally, it was illegal.
Yeah.
But whatever. You don't supposed to work past a certain amount of hours, and we did all the time.
Yeah.
But you guys kept me motivated.
Yeah. So in that situation, Jason, what did you have to do?
What?
Domestic wise.
I ain't do nothing. I took out the trash. That's about it. I ain't had time. I literally didn't have time.
And sometimes people are in these situations. A lot of people in America are in these situations where it's like, okay, well, he working 2 jobs or something, like he cannot do the domestic work.
And
you know what I mean?
Look, I needed the food. I said, babe, I need hot meat on my plate when I come home. It needs to be hot. It needs to be some meat. I need that protein or something. I just, because it was just sucking the life out of me. Walking 13, 14 miles a day. You know what I'm saying? Carrying stuff heavy, boxes, man. It's a grind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a grind. So thank you for being my wife to help me stay, my nutritional values stayed up. You know what I'm saying? Kept me hydrated, kept me my lunch. So imagine without you, man, I would be terrible. I would be sick because I wouldn't be getting the right nutrients because I get something quick.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you. Shout out to the women out there. Shout out to my wife. Thank you.
But thank you, honey. I appreciate that. Even within that, though, it's still important for the woman, if this is the sort of situation that you're in, it's like you still have to understand that you cannot do it all. And the only reason why I was able to do that is because my mom was helping with our child.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, I would not have been able
to do that. We won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
So definitely got to give a shout out to Ashley Mom. Right. Thanks for all the grandmas out there that help out, that step in, that go above the call of duty to help your kids and your grandchildren. We really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess that's sort of the lesson. But at the end of the day, time is created equal, and you should not feel bad about taking the time that you need. It may be a situation where you have to take on more of the domestic work, but then you also just need to know that you need to reserve some time for yourself.
For sure.
Right. And not feel guilty about that. So that was a big one. But yeah, if you have millions of dollars or whatever, you can outsource.
It don't take. So that's another thing. It doesn't take millions of dollars to outsource those things.
It doesn't.
Yeah. So definitely look it up. So I don't want, because some people are basically in the. They're capable of doing it right now. They're capable of hiring a chef. They're capable of hiring a nutritionist or a trainer or a full-time nanny. But you don't think you are because you think you need millions of dollars. Go check it out. Do your research.
Yeah, it might not be as expensive as you thought. And what I had to learn is that sometimes that money is worth it because I'm tight with the money. But having time for myself, is also very important.
Yes.
And it's the most important thing to keep myself fulfilled.
Because if you're not taking care of yourself, who's taking care of you? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to take care of somebody else if you're not able to, if you're not strong enough to help them?
Right.
You got to help yourself first.
Right. So another time message, like I said, we won't go through all of them, but this one was important to me. It says, "You don't work, you have more time." Who does that sound like, Jason?
What are you talking about? You don't work.
You literally just said this. You have more time.
Yeah, you know, hey.
And I said, what? I have more time? How do I have more time?
You don't have to go to work. You don't have to go to a job.
But how does that mean that I have more time?
Okay, let's just break it down like this. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. This is what I mean by you have more time. So you take 24 hours. Now, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 5. I'm starting to get up a little bit earlier, but it's dedicated to get ready to go to work, right? So you take, I don't have to be at work till 8 o'clock, 8 to 5. That's 9 hours, right? So if I'm waking up at 6, you throw in an extra 2 hours on top of that. So 9 plus 2 hours, that's 11 hours, right? And then you add in the drive time coming home, just kind of getting out your clothes and unwinding, throw in another hour. So you're talking about 12 hours dedicated to my job. And that's if I don't work over, right? This is just your people that just work set hours. You know, you got other people that do a lot of overtime. So you take 24 minus 12, that's 12 hours dedicated strictly to a company, not dedicated to this household. So that's why I say you have more time to do some of these things. You have an extra 12 hours that I don't have.
Yeah. So when we talked about that, well, let me just say, you're saying that because I'm a stay-at-home mom,
right?
But if I were not a stay-at-home mom, do I still have more time?
Well, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not. But you are a stay-at-home mom, so I'm talking about our situation. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about somebody else's situation. Now, when you was working, driving Beverly Hills and stuff like that, you know, that's different. But now we're in a different situation.
Okay. So actually, the thing that you said that triggered me was I don't have time for that.
Yeah. And what I really said
wait.
Okay, go for it.
Because we're going to talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
When we talk about the game.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what was said.
I did say that.
Yes.
But that's not what I meant. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Well. Okay. So let's stick with the since we're talking about me being a stay-at-home mom, let's talk about that a little bit more, because I thought that, you know, before I became a stay-at-home mom, that the stay-at-home mom should do all the domestic tasks. Like, that's her job. That's what she's supposed to do. But what happens is that your partner decides that they're not going to do anything because you have all the time in the world for the domestic task.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case. Like, that should not be the case. It was a transition for Jason and myself, because remember, my personality is that I'm just going to take care of it.
Right.
And I did think that a stay-at-home mom should do everything. Right.
Right.
But what happens is that it's like, no, you're still working multiple jobs because it's nonstop. It keeps going all day. Right. So it's still essentially the same thing. Not as bad, because I don't have to be on somebody else's time and have to be, some things I still have to do. Like, I still have to get my daughter to preschool at a certain time. Right. So that's a time factor or whatever, but I don't have to be like, if I'm having a bad morning, I don't have to be dressed and ready to go to work. Like, I can be dressed and, and not, my hair is not completely cute and all this other stuff. Right. So
or you don't have to listen to do a certain thing that you feel like is not efficient. You can kind of do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? You're the boss of you.
Yes. But that still doesn't take away from the stuff that I have to do. Right. So it's like, no, actually, she can't do everything. Right. Or he or she should not be trying to do everything. Right. Your partner still should be taking on some of these responsibilities. Right. So of course I'm trying to take on all the responsibilities. I got a new baby, little bit baby, breastfeeding and all this stuff. And then I got to the place where I was just like, Jason, I need some help. Right. Like, this I still don't have any time. Like, I still don't have time for myself. You know what I mean? I'm still going nonstop. So that's how we got to this to this point of Jason washing the dishes at night. Because I told him, I'm like, dirty dishes is a huge hindrance to me cooking. So that would help me a lot, you know, save money that way. So we're not ordering out and, you know, and just the dishes being cleaned and ready to go the next day is awesome.
Right.
Now with that being said, now I do want to say that, you know, sometimes people are just like procrastinating and like not taking care of their business and stuff. So definitely, you know, we all need to check ourselves and make sure that we are being as efficient as possible,
right?
And stand on top of things, and that takes time to learn. So there's things, like I said, I had to learn about how to manage a home, you know, and as I've learned more, the more efficient I have become.
For sure.
Right, because I have to say this because I real quickly, like the biggest problem that I was having is that I was trying to clean like in one big time block, right? So like I think a lot of people clean like that, right? But when you have kids, you may not have 4 hours just to clean everything from top to bottom. I gotta stop and feed them, right? So that has been the biggest struggle for me, and I'm happy to see that I wasn't the only person that had that struggle of like learning how to break things up and how to keep the house clean when you don't have 4 hours to just, or longer, to clean. And then being in a bigger size house is, you know, different too. One kid versus 2 kids. Had to learn a whole bunch of stuff, right? So yeah, but if you know that you are being efficient as possible, if you are just really, really trying and you still don't have time, it may just be because you're just doing too much. You're not supposed to be doing. And like the household you don't have to do it all. It's not all your responsibility. Your time is equal to your husband. You know, it just is what it is. You know? So that's it. We'll end on that for this episode. The next episode, we are gonna dive into it some more, and then we're gonna talk about the game that we played and how the it kind of backfired that we called it a game for me and my husband.
For sure.
But we'll talk more about that. But definitely, I'm so excited about this book.
Yes.
And I just think that it's going to be helpful if you you know, I'm excited about, like I said, pushing the conversation forward. She's pushing the conversation forward on gender equality.
Right. So, and don't forget, this Wednesday, we're going to talk about it in depth on our live discussion. So make sure you meet us there. We're going to have, like I said, on Facebook, it's 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. So catch us on Facebook Live. We're going to go a deep dive. We give away stuff, shirts, hats, t-shirts. We give away stuff. You get to spin the wheel. So it's not just, you know, not only going to learn stuff, we give free stuff as well, but you got to answer the questions properly. In order to answer the questions, you already did the first part, and that's listen to this episode. So I'm going to pull a question from this episode, a couple of questions, well, actually 3, and you get to answer them, and then you spin the wheel. That's how it works. So again, Patreon, make sure you go there, sign up right now. It's free for the month of February. You won't be charged until next month. That is patreon.com/Loveology podcast. Pick your tier, see which one you like, and let's get with it. Again, we only accepting so many VIP Patreons. So if you're looking to get that, you better get on it, because we only accepting so many. All right. Again, I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what I say. Where there's love, there's peace. And where there's peace, there's progression. I think my wife definitely feels it on this one, because once we're peaceful with how we run this household, you're going to be able to progress.
Yes.
Right? So thank y'all. Love y'all. Make sure you tell somebody you love you and all that good stuff. And catch y'all next time. Peace out.
Bye. You've been listening to the Loveology podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.